Hello, I'm Amanda de Swartz, Head of London Energy Project. We're a group of local authorities, health trusts and Greater London Authority functional bodies in London and the South. Together we buy energy and water and we spend nearly £750 million a year. Collaborative procurement should enable you to buy things better together, ideally to reduce costs and also to get better transaction efficiencies. You should also aim to build in a better social outcome and a better environmental outcome depending on what the commodity or the category is. So for us in energy, we are looking for greener initiatives, lower carbon, and also to try and build better outcomes for local supply chain. This would be common for most collaborative procurements. So to do this, you need to work together with the people who are actually your end users, because your view of what they need might be quite different to what they actually need. So the first thing to do in a successful collaboration is to get together with your end users. Now that can sound simple, but actually identifying who those end users are in a complex category can be quite difficult. So taking energy as an example, we have street lighting engineers right through to the people who pay the bills in the accounts payable function. So understanding all of those end stakeholders and understanding how to access those people within each business can be quite difficult, particularly when you've got 80 of them. So building those relationships over a long time to understand and to access those people when you need to have a webinar, to have a phone call, to be able to talk to those people when you need to and understand the language that they are speaking back to you and not to misinterpret their needs is really important. So understanding who you can talk to in those businesses, having champions in those businesses and being able to then take their needs and realign them to an outcome specification for a tender is vitally important in getting a successful outcome in a collaboration. One of the things that can go wrong in a collaborative procurement is trying to persuade customers that they need less. Now, it may be that they do need less, and having an honest discussion with them about that is important. But if their needs are genuine and there are suppliers out there in the marketplace that can deliver them, through pre-market engagement you've established it, then a choice needs to be made. Do you restrict the market and say actually 5 out of the 10 suppliers are able to deliver this requirement and leave it to the market for the other 5 suppliers to up their game and learn how to deliver it? Or do you say to the other customers, only 5 can deliver this, therefore you need to downgrade your requirements so the other 5 poorer suppliers can compete? Because ultimately those customers are probably going to go elsewhere for their requirement and you're going to potentially destroy your collaboration. So therefore, having honest discussions and not just expecting customers to want less is really important. Delivering the customer's requirements sometimes is critical in a collaboration. So some things you should expect from a collaborative procurement are operational efficiencies. They can run from anything from a transactional background, so having a common invoice platform, having a particular way of running the procurement. We do things such as even writing a contract award report that the customer end user can just copy and paste into their own cabinet award reports, a contracts finder notice that they can copy and paste into their own, specifying an invoice platform that they can use, an output flat file that everybody can use. So these things are all operational efficiencies that run right from the procurement process at the beginning to the way that they can operate their contract throughout. We'll even have the high-level contract management support right from the onboarding of the contract and planning of that through to the outboarding, if you like, at the end of the contract to help them leave the contract to move into their next one, hopefully, which will be another one that we've tendered on their behalf. A successful collaboration happens when everybody is pulling together, both the supplier and the customer. This has happened over a period of time. The customer has been involved in putting together the requirements across all of their different business units. The supplier has been involved in the tendering process, pre-market engagement, and they're involved right throughout the process, customer engagement days, etc. And this goes on all the way through the entire contract delivery. If you leave phases out, it can be very difficult to pull them back in. And so without that, you really are having lots of different contracts managed separately, lots of people using a framework, but not really collective. And this therefore starts fragmentation. The supplier doesn't really know what to deliver to whom. The customer starts to get disenfranchised with what's being delivered. It's not really the collective. So if you want to have everybody having, in our case, green energy, well, what if somebody wants brown? What if somebody wants only something of this or something of that? They want to pay by 28 days, not 5 days or 10 days. It becomes very difficult for the supplier to know what they're doing. One customer says, I want this, I want that. And really, you have to get everybody to sit together and have a mature discussion and say, okay, everybody's going to have 14 because that's what we're going to all have to agree to. And then the supplier can say, okay, everyone's going to have 14. And then 4 people say, we just can't have 14, we just can't do it. And we say, okay, everyone's having that except for those 4. They're going to have to pay a little bit more because they need 28. And then everybody knows what to expect and we can all move forwards together. So for a good collaborative procurement, I would suggest that you get everyone together and agree what they want and tell them what they can't have and be honest about it, and then work together to build the requirement. Make sure that the supply market can deliver it, so do your pre-market engagement, build your specification, put it out to the market, and then get everybody together to make sure it is what's required, and then work together, get it together, deliver it together, and ensure that you not only deliver those cash releasing savings that you wanted and those transaction efficiencies, but make sure that you get those extras, those social value initiatives and those green objectives that you were wanting to deliver, and ask the suppliers how they're going to deliver them for you. Don't necessarily stipulate everything, allow some flexibility for the supplier to deliver in the best way that they can, and then have measurable outcomes so that you can tell people the business benefits that have been delivered through the collaboration and the collective nature of the procurement.